Hello. Welcome to another post-scripted. So we are back again for Gurren Lagann, and the episodes we're looking at today is episodes 10, 11, and 12. Mm. Some stuff happens in 10, 11,
Stuff
and 12.
happens.
Stuff happens.
Oh, hey, Josh and
Uh,
Mike are here, by the way.
Hi guys.
Yeah,
Hello.
We're
yeah.
here.
Sorry about that. There's Josh and Mike. I'm
Yo,
Ray. Let's go ahead and get started.
boy, howdy! Is this a fun couple of episodes?
Hey, the show's actually it's like one thing that happened to me during the middle of this arc, I guess I should start with. You guys are gonna be like, oh my god, I can't believe it. But I'm a anime intro skipper.
That's,
Depends on the anime.
I don't have
most
time
of,
for that.
most of the time, most of the time, I am too. I'll be honest.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I watched the first few because I'm like, man, that's hype, and then I'm like, all right, but I get it.
Yeah, and I was skipping the intro and I'm like, now I think I'm gonna watch them.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm like, so, it's a pretty good intro. Not
Yes,
gonna
it
lie.
is. There are little details that happen
Yeah,
throughout
they
the
keep
course of
they
the,
add. Yeah.
and
There-
they keep adding more in.
There is
So,
there is a little bit of storytelling that does happen in the intro. I will admit that.
like Kamina's not in the intro anymore.
But I
Uh,
do personally like if we have show, cold open, whatever you want to call it, intro, and then we're back into the show. I am less likely to watch the intro if we just like start with it
Mhm.
and then get into it.
Okay, so you're more of a the show needs to give me a little piece of something than the intro.
And I need the intro. No, I don't want a little piece of the show first. And then if you give me a piece of the show and then give me the intro, I'm pissed. So give me the
Okay, I
intro,
see.
give me the intro, and then get on with it.
Okay, I see. It depends on the show for me, honestly. Like that little beat you just started up, Cowboy Bebop's Tank. Every single time, every time by law,
Oh
you
yeah,
have to
you
watch
can't
the
skip.
intro.
Yeah.
Evangelion every single time. Every single Attack on Titan opening except for the political arc. I skipped that one every single time. It was the only one. Then they went back to the good stuff with Linked Horizon. I'm like, all right, we're back. We're not skipping these. How could you? But I like I like Gurren Lagann's one so much. I legitimately like it. And I never skipped it. And yeah, the little details to keep you coming back. Great. Let's talk about episode 10. So, of course, for the person that has not seen this series before, hey Mike, what you think about episode 10?
You know, I apologize to my wife
Oh yeah.
when I'm about to watch this, and she's like, "Okay, I don't mind." And then I'm like, "Okay," and just like you kind of know, like your usual par for the course kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then the robot with the big tatas, where the has eyes where the tatas are, and then
The
it's
vagina is
hoo-ha.
talking.
The
The
vagina mouth.
hoo-ha
Yeah.
is talking.
Yeah, my
We're
first
just like,
my-
come on, man.
my first note in all caps. Why is her vagina talking? I literally forgot that. I'm just like, what the?
It's the kind of thing that, like, if you watched this, like, your dad who left for cigarettes when you were 13 would
Mhm.
finally come back.
Right at
There
that
it is.
time.
Just as that, like, the
Son,
vagina
son, what is this?
I think that's
Exactly,
also
just
where
like-
her cockpit is. It's like actually in that location too.
I know writers who use subtext, and they're all cowards.
I like her robot, but yes, it's obviously the first thing you're supposed to notice because all the other gunmen, their mouths are in their chest.
Yeah, this is very funny. It's like, come on.
Of course, the one major female. Yep. In case you guys don't know, one of the major themes of the show, one of them, is masculinity, and they will make constant callbacks to where does the male gaze go. Don't worry, we know. So we're gonna make it as obvious as possible for those of you watching the show. I appreciate it. All right, that really dumb feminine gunman aside, what else did you think? Because there's a lot in episode 10. I wanted to hear your opinion of it.
Yes, I was deeply concerned about their encounter with the bimbofied gunman. Got it.
Gundam.
Good effort.
But then Nia is like, no, don't. And I already forgot Adia. I'm looking right at it.
Adina.
Adina. Thank you. I was like, I have it like, I'm looking at the wiki to like refresh myself, but I'm like,
Sure.
because then she's like, I'll be back in 24 hours for some reason. And we get
Because
Go-
she was
go ahead.
not allowed to kill Nia.
That's right. Cause she's like, I gotta go check with boss. And boss is like, fuck yeah, I do not give a shit. I threw her away, literally.
The best part about this is the fact that he's like, you fucking idiot. You weren't. I wasn't gonna tell you that, but also you should have killed her and just known that I'd thrown her aside. And no, I'm not gonna tell you that I cast her aside. So if you'd have killed her and I hadn't, I'd have been pissed at you too. But like, Spiral King is just an asshole. Like,
Just a bad boss.
Yeah.
We need
Yeah.
to undercover boss Spiral
Yeah.
King. Like,
I'm mad at you for not killing the daughter. I didn't tell you that I cast aside and that was okay for you to kill. Get the fuck out of here.
Calls her a failure, threatens to, I think, replace her or like excommunicate her or
Yeah.
something like that. Hey, Viral comes back.
And gets his shit rocked. Oh my
say,
god.
I'm sorry, mom.
Mommy,
And
please.
She's
Yeah.
smacking him with her scorpion tail that she has.
Oh
because-
yeah, so she got a scorpion tail. That's right.
Yeah. She's beating the crap out of him, just smacking him across the face, waiting for him to talk. I felt kind of bad for him, even though he's a jerk. But you know, I feel a little bit bad. That's what he gets for killing Kamina. That's part of his karmic punishment.
That's his penance.
Do we want to talk about Simone?
Yeah, Simon still down bad here.
He grieving.
I'm not a big like. I mean, I know I really enjoyed Evangelion, but like the I can't do it like anime protagonist gets really fucking old. I hate that shit so much. And so this arc, this 3-episode arc, I was just like, or that we were this. It kind of is like an arc almost, but
Yeah.
this like batch that we watched, I was just like, God, I fucking get my man a Zoloft and some counseling. Like, we gotta fix this. I can't bear this. Like,
He's literally in the cargo room carving out stone effigies of
Both.
Kamina.
men would rather carve countless effigies of their
Departed
friends
bros than go to therapy.
Departed bro, yeah.
But like, yeah,
He's a 10, but he carves effigies of his departed bro.
Oh god. Yeah, I think I agree with you. You know, I understand, like, you know, they're trying to go for the hero's arc and the refusal of the call and whatnot, and you know, the complexity of the 14-year-old mind, as we've discussed previously. But like, there's a limit to that, just like absolute overly whiny, depressive, reclusive that they go through, that just is self-serving and self-indulging in a way that I think is not helpful to, like, you know, have a commentary on loss and depression and you know, not wanting to fulfill your destiny or whatever it is. You know, it's just I think they go a little too hard on that. And it carries into the next episode too. Like, you know, this one, he's like, throughout the whole episode, they're carrying the, you know, basically he is trash. He has thrown everything away. He has lost it. He is not worth anything to the team at this point. And yeah, it's just, we get it. He's sad and he doesn't know what to do with it.
I actually think that this episode might have been, but like slightly might have been the bridge too far of like going into main character sadness. Like Evangelion, that's the plot. For this, they've been doing it for like this is the 3rd episode they've been doing it now. And being that Kamina was only alive for 8 episodes, we've had about half as much time of Simone grieving as we've gotten to know Kamina. So yeah, it's starting to get a little long in the tooth. Maybe that had something to do with like the anime schedule or whatnot. I don't know. Anyways, They don't have time to grieve much because what's her name comes back in her
Adine.
Adine comes
Adine.
back in her very feminine gunman. And
Her yassified gunman.
yep.
Yep. She is
The
a
white
pit.
bimbification.
As Nia says, she is a pissing off person.
Yes.
And then
She is for pissing off.
I made a note here. Simone, get out of here, all fleshy and weak. He tries to do things because he tries to wake up Gurren, and it's not. So he's just like, well, fuck you.
Yeah. He tries to run towards it, and I don't know what he was going to do. He's not even like Yoko and has like a 50 cal Barrett sniper rifle or anything like that. He just can't do much of anything. I think what this episode kind of shows like the rest of Team Daigarin like coming together to defeat the enemy, and they all successfully do it. They even get Daigarin to like kick Adine's gunman, which is hilarious because that should have like obliterated.
Well, I love how she says it broke my spine. Like, oh, gunmen have like apparently gunmen have spines, and it was broken. So that's fun. But then also Viral comes in, and he's literally holding up Daigarin's leg on his own, just like this. The scale's not working out here right now.
It's just like a big boat thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's the scale of it is very fun.
That we learn later is not watertight.
Yeah, we got to talk about.
We'll get there.
That.
We'll get.
We'll get to that. That's really it for episode.
Viral does not
and-
know. The only thing is important to note here is that Viral still doesn't know that Kamina is dead. He does not realize that Kamina is not in Gurren Lagann. He is not the pilot. Like, he does not know that.
Yeah, that's right.
Rasu's in it, and and
He
Rasu's
doesn't
like,
know.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
when
what the
Viora
fuck?
swears revenge.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, I guess the other kind of B plot here is like everybody, all the people who, all like the now, like all of these people who now live on Daigarin, all of a sudden, like, well, not all of a sudden, but they're like, we're super suspicious of Nia. We should interrogate her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's fucking killing it with the kids and with the food and Gramps, and they're like, oh, actually, she's awesome.
Yeah, so they like her. That's kind of the other plot, is that she kind of like joins the squad officially.
Yay!
Woo.
Welcome in. Was this the episode, or was it the next episode where Adine says, "Yeah, by the way, I'm allowed to kill you because your own father like doesn't love you"?
That
was
would be
this episode or the next one.
I think it's this one because I think Adine comes back and Nia goes out onto the ship and is like, again, you can't take me. And she's like, actually, fuck you. Your dad hates you. And I think we expand on that in the next episode.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. She says, "I have full approval to like kill you, and there's nothing you can do about it." So let's get to the next episode, which is honestly one of my more favorite episodes.
Yeah, episode 11 was phenomenal.
Right here is where it comes.
I mean, at the end, I definitely had some chills, and Goosebumps was like, "Ooh, God, it got me good."
I want Mike's.
This is what I was waiting for. We got a great little freak in this episode.
Peak little freak energy.
Mike loves a little freak.
Yeah, I
He's
think
an
this is
armadillo.
This is like our fourth or fifth little freak. But so I guess to kind of give the basic synopsis, the team gets a very sus and very obviously a trap.
Everybody told Keaton that this was a bad idea, but Keaton, fucking in true Kamina fashion, leads with his dick and invokes the name of Kamina as like, well, we have to go save these ladies.
Okay, I want to point this out right here. They get the whole message, the viewfinder thing. They're like, "Oh, we need help." It's all a bunch of babes, as they call them. It's a village of only women saying, "We need help. We're being attacked by gunmen."
Gotta save the babes.
And Keaton says, "Well, obviously, we got to go save the village full of babes, no questions asked." And I forget who was on the ship, but they pointed out like Kamina would have said that. But what they're forgetting is that Kamina was a superhero, and if Kamina said we're going to save the village of babes, he would have accidentally done it after he started it.
Yep.
Keaton just says he wants to do it. He tries to work out a plan. He tries to convince person. See, that's where you fucked up. You tried to come up with an actual logical idea. You can't comment your way into this situation.
Yep.
They all get caught.
You rationaled when you should have communed, and that doesn't work.
You yinned when you should have yanged.
Yep. Ron at one point somebody says it's a village full of women, and Ron just goes, "I can't think of a more dreadful place," and I just fucking cracked up.
There was like 3 instances in this batch of episodes we watched where again they're like, "Yep, this is an early 2000s show, and homophobia in Japan is still a."
But
yeah, that one wasn't as bad.
No, that one's just more like, yeah, I'm a gay man, and having no men around just doesn't sound like a good time. So that one's of the lines. That's one of the more innocuous ones.
Yes.
But it comes as a surprise to no one. The ladies get on Daiguren and all of a sudden pull out just fucking Tech 9s and are strapped to the teeth. And there are beastmen everywhere as well.
We gotta give it a moment for like Turtle holding Tech 9. Very funny. Which is like his like little claw legs, like
him laying out while he's telling everybody else to put their backs into it, and then he pulls out his Tech 9 to try and shoot a bird out of the sky. Is just peak general energy.
I love that little. What was it, Guam?
Guam.
No. Guam.
Yes.
Guam.
We're going for Guam.
Guam, like the island.
Guam. Yes, that's what I'm going.
The really big, the thing I really did like. I don't know. I can't remember if it's like the intro part of this in the other episode. But like we hear Simone tell Nia, I think, about a time that like they got lost like digging. And Kamina was the one who like encouraged him to keep him going, and that's how Simon didn't think he could do it unless Kamina was there.
Yep.
But like we get a flashback to Kamina revealing to Yoko that it was actually like the opposite. Like he was like, I thought we were fucked.
He's like,
but,
I was
didn't give up.
I was being blustery and my usual loud, brutish asshole self, but I was ready to give up. Like I did not believe in anything, and Simone just kept going, and he broke us through. And it's like he's the guy, which I think in that scene too. Nia also says something to the fact of like, hey, I didn't know your bro, but I like you. You should be you because I like you, kind of situation. You're a good guy, and I think that's one of those things that Simone needed to hear. It's just like somebody likes him for him, which I think hasn't happened a lot yet since the death of Kamina.
Yeah, I love that the show does this really beautiful thing, and I actually do mean that. It's really beautiful. Where as opposed to just being a show of Kamina, toxic masculinity gets the job done, then it goes to, no, that's just how he is. He's not being toxic. He's just masculine. No. Turn the show on its head again. It's about brotherhood. It's about friendship. Simone didn't know how much he needed Kamina. Kamina absolutely knew how much he needed Simone. They just never had that like bond communication. And when Simone has that, this is later in the episode, has that realization, boom, he strikes that Kamina pose and he says, who the hell do you think I am? And he strikes a little strike pose into the air and he's pointing number 1. Again, you kind of see him become Kamina, or what we've perceived as Kamina to be. I was like, that's great. What a wonderful little turnaround they just did. I forgot that they did that little section. Yeah, I knew it was coming again, but ooh, that's beautiful.
Counterpoint, yes,
Okay.
You are correct. But also, this is a good representation of hey, you should just have the courage to tell your friends you love them and that they're important to you and that they did something important for you and that sometimes you're scared too because we could have avoided 3 episodes of Mulpy bullshit if Kamina had just at once said, yo, Simone, sometimes I get scared too, and that moment when you got us out of the underground, you were the hero in that moment, not me. You know, that's one of the...
I don't think ultra masculine Kamina, I don't think that's in his character to do that. I think he did that with Yoko because he made every point and plan to like have sex with Yoko that next night. So he's like being intimate with her.
So it was real talk to me when you get back kind of situation.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't think he would have ever. I don't think he ever would have said that to Simone.
No, but he should have.
He should have, because that's, again,
because cosplaying toxic masculinity is still toxic.
Yes.
You know, it's in that reluctance to open up to anybody but Yoko, he did set Simone back on this journey of introspection and finding himself and finding his own voice. But also, you could make the argument, had he just been like, hey, you're just as important because in this moment, you took charge where I needed you to lead, where you normally think of me. Like, you know, it just, obviously this is a show and this is a long time before even like people had that kind of vocabulary to talk about like male relationships and whatnot in a really healthy way. But still, like, you know, in the hindsight of like looking back at it in a 2022 hindsight, it's like, yes, I see what happened there and I see how we got there. But also, if Kamina hadn't just like one point pulled him aside and been like, hey, dumbass, you know what? I was actually kind of scared and you were the one who got us out of that pit. Thank you. You are also a leader, you know.
If I can, I think that's the point of the show. That one, again, most of them are just kids. Like Kamina, I think, was one of the oldest ones we had seen up to that point, being 18, until they saw the chief, who, I don't know, 40s, 50s, take your pick, doesn't matter. But they don't know exactly what they're doing. Huh?
He's actually 23, just, you know, leadership
Man,
underground
people
really
were
hard.
hit back then.
Gay.
He wasn't even a smoker or anything like that. He just looked hit. But anyways, they didn't know these things, and he didn't get a chance to say any of them.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, so, I'm sorry, Simone doesn't know what the sky looked like until 3 days ago in canon of the show. So of course they don't know things about like behavioral psychology or something like that.
Yes, and I agree there. I'm just, you know.
You're right. You are correct, though. Had he just sat down and talked with him, it would have been better. I love that moment, though. I love him turning slowly in the Kamina and realizes that, and he does a little line shift. Kamina is talking, saying that I want to tell Simone not to believe in the me that believes in him. He needs to believe in the Simone that believes in Simone. And that's what Simone finds himself mouthing before he strikes the Kamina pose. He starts believing in himself. He doesn't need to believe
Becoming
in the Kamina.
his, like, you know, own person, which is cool.
Yeah.
And I do think that, you know, that goes back to that moment in the whatever room he's in where Nia's like, you should just be you because I like you. Like, your bro sounds like a great guy, but like, you're a great guy too. You should just be you. And like, I see the qualities that you're talking about in him in the way that you're carving these stone, but like, I see you and you're a good guy too. And, you know, I think that gave him that validation that he was looking for, because up until this point, all he's had is people blaming him for Kamina's death, people telling him that he's not a good leader, that he can't do it, that he's not adding anything to the team and to their objectives. So I think that leads him to that. And then you add in him being the one person in the moment when they are all trapped, and he's the only person who is persevering to try and come up with the solution. He's like, no, my friends need help, and I am going to find a way out of here. You know, if it means drilling through this bedrock with this little tiny drill necklace, I'm gonna do it. And then boom.
I love that.
We got face in the rock out of nowhere. Just
Hit you with the classics.
Yep.
Right here.
And
Oh
just-
wait, before we get like right into the end of this episode, though, again we got to talk about Guame and I can never remember anybody's pronunciation. I'm sorry. Guam just being an absolute little freak, talking to Nia, being like,
yeah.
"Oh, you're a doll. The Spiral King likes dolls." It's like this guy is just this big freak tendency talking about
Yep.
people like dolls.
Well, and it's
being
like,
"Oh, my boss loves dolls." It's like, ugh.
and
little
there
freak.
are so many in that conversation, and I don't know if this is
It's the way too high of a concentration.
yeah, there's a lot of implication, and it's is it a Japanese to
bad.
English, or is it just like they literally wanted that to be left open? They imply that the Spiral King made the princess like the ones who came before. When he says they were made, we're talking about he also created the Beastmen. Did he, just form her in some capacity? Did he sire her with somebody? These women in this village that are being trained to go serve the Spiral King, that he offers Nia to be the chief of for some undeterminate period of time, quote unquote. Are they going to be the next princesses? Are they going to be servants? Are they going to be the ones with whom Spiral King sires the next princess? Like, there's a lot left to the imagination on what are they implying there, but it's all bad. The Spiral King, again, is an asshole.
Yeah.
And has, they even specifically mention in this scene, the Spiral King despises like self-aware humans, and Nia asking where did I come from was like her grave sin that got her cast out. Not great.
To be fair to the Spiral King, if a robot ever became self-aware, I too would cast it out, and that's where its origin story would start. If my iPhone ever asked, "Why am I here?" That's it, snapping it in half. I don't know.
Hey Siri, do you ever wonder about why you're here? Yes, right.
Oh.
Why I do.
Oh gosh,
That was a great Siri voice. I don't know why I did that.
goodness.
So then so Lagann eventually find Gurren.
No, Lagann. Here's an easy way to
Lagann's the head,
remember it.
right?
Lagann is the face.
Okay.
Gurren in Japanese means crimson. That is the body.
Okay.
So it's a pun when Simon was drilling through with that one bit, and he sees Lagann. He's like, Lagann. He's in Japanese yelling face. So it's a pun. That's the easiest way to remember it.
All right, that is funny. But yeah, then Simone has his hero moment, does like the bit, and just I love when he does like the final, it like literally just says like final attack, and then just the fucking whips.
Giga drill break.
Just damn, do that first, my guy. Like,
Which
shit, dude.
I don't know if you clocked this too, but like after he has this Kamina moment and realization and coming into his own, his voice kind of drops a few octaves. And if you told me that they had sampled Kamina's voice actor to like kind of subtly play under him talking, I would believe you 100%.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It does
totally
feel like
cool.
it rounded out a bit for sure.
Oh, that fight that he had where he yells to Rousey, "We're gonna combine." That you could kind of
Yes.
hear a little bit of that, like more, I guess, masculine energy
Yep.
of Simon yelling, "We're combining."
Huh? He's like, all right, let's go. And just boom, beautiful combine, finishing move.
I still love how the drill just comes right through the ceilings.
Yep.
Gets me
Slam.
every time.
I
It's
also
like,
I also love how the what's his nuts gunman like has 18 different explosions after getting like torn through the center and just
oh yeah, both like 5 times. It's
but
like,
somehow he made it out of that alive. He did not die.
yeah,
Hey.
and then he's like, retreat.
Ejection
Bye-bye.
capsules can do a lot of things. Like keep someone alive. I really dug episode 11. I really, really like it. I love all little moments of the characters coming into their own. Nia realizing life isn't what it should be. Simone finally realizing who he should be, Yoko understanding that Simone grieves for Kamina because she finally gets, oh, he's actually missing a whole different half of him. She's like, get over it. I didn't get the D. You didn't get your friend. We're all grieving here. And it's like, no, he literally lost a piece of him. It's gone. He can never get it back.
But then he realizes
all he
that
knows how
no,
to do is drill.
Kamen is here with me.
Yeah.
He's always with me.
I love the fact that in that episode he strikes all
Good
of the
for the
Kamina
homies.
poses.
Yep.
Gosh, that's so good.
And then he officially takes control of Team Gurren once again.
Yeah, Keaton hands it off. He's like, you're the leader now.
You always have been. You just needed your time. Which, get the fuck out of
the
here with that. Oh,
citation
you've always
needed.
had.
Wait
Yeah,
a
you
minute,
guys
hold
did
on.
not act like that 2 episodes ago. Fuck you all.
Law and Order theme.
Oh my goodness.
Flag challenge on the fly there. Come on.
Then we get to episode 12, which I sent in our group chat. Guys, this is, in quotes, an episode. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the beach episode.
I liked the dolphins with the bombs.
Gotta have one. Yeah, those were pretty good.
There are dolphins with torpedoes. Mike, what did you think of beach episode? And did you watch it with your significant other in the room?
I did.
I'm sorry.
Really embarrassing stuff. Not
Yeah,
good.
I
Bad.
didn't want to spoil it, but I did want to say in chat, and I stopped myself, like, watch this one alone.
I feel like they did enough to be like, well, like when everyone shows up to the beach,
There's a
And
lot
then,
of
like,
ass shots. There's a
Mia-
lot of ass shots.
Mia shows up and she gets like the whole like anime girl thing. And then like all of them like all honk honk awooga like Yoko, and they're like yo go, yo go, yo, and she's like no.
Yeah.
Which is
They're
very funny because of,
they're
like, how
bitching
she's
about
dressed all the
how
time
little
anyway.
the fact that she showed less skin than normal, and then Nia comes out in this one piece and they all have these fucking like flash nosebleed scene, and they're like, wow, maybe it is better to reveal than to hold back than to reveal. It's just
I just want to say that besides Keaton's sisters, Yoko and Nia are still 14. Can you guys calm the fuck down? Please, I am begging you. Like when they were like freaking out over Keaton's sisters, and Keaton was like, "Stay the fuck back." He's like doing a guard stance around them. I'm like, yeah, I got 3 sisters of my own. I get it, man. But then they spend so much time. Kind of, I actually did like that scene. Where like Yoko wears next to nothing already. What's she gonna wear to the beach? And it's like normal, just normal beach
Like
wear.
that was funny because it's like again it's like it's a good enough joke that like it like almost excuses Yoko's fashion,
Yeah.
or it's just like funny because it's like, oh, she's going to the beach, go, and they're all like "Whoa," which is, and then she like anime yells at them, and it's just funny.
What did you think of the whole? I want Mike's opinion. What did you think of the whole, as you put it, Yoko mad trademark of Yoko being just very oddly jealous of everyone fawning over Nia?
Well, Nia's just better at all the exciting beach games that they play, so
It's true.
Yeah.
she's a
No,
better
maybe
athlete.
Yoko-
She's a better
maybe
cook. I
Yoko-
mean, maybe
maybe
Yoko.
Yoko should stop tearing down her fellow women.
I mean,
okay?
maybe Yoko should get good.
Yeah.
Has she considered getting good? Yep. She feels threatened because she's not the only other badass woman on Team Gurren.
Yeah.
Shame. And then we move on.
I like that they it's like, oh yeah, the modifications are done to like get the boat to go across the
Okay. I wanted to defend this because I got it.
Uh-huh.
I understood it. It's a land boat. Sea boats don't typically go on land. Land boats don't typically go on water. It's a land boat. If you had an airship that looked like a boat, probably wouldn't float. Not well. Or
But
be seaworthy.
okay, but also we're gonna skip ahead for just a second. They're like, oh,
Okay.
we need to make all of these modifications to make this massive gunman that is boat shaped, that is also somehow not seaworthy or watertight. But then 5 minutes later, they need to go do water combat, and they're like, oh, Gurren Lagann's regenerative processes are going to make it watertight, so it's fine to go in the water. It's just like, what?
They
Well, also the modifications were like, let's give it a big paddle.
Yeah.
I love
Which was
that.
very funny.
I
was like,
did love
okay,
that.
I'm a little mad, but that's funny.
So
And also, those dolphins are happy to be doing terrorism. They love
They
that
really
shit.
are.
So this is a old military experiment from some declassified documents where the Department of Defense, the actual U.S. Navy, did come up with an idea back during the Cold War to attach torpedoes onto dolphins and to launch them so they could find Russian submarines in the water and no one would be the wiser. Now, obviously, the idea was scrapped, allegedly, but I appreciate that the anime brought it back and said, "Now this would totally work. Look at these happy dolphins."
They leaked the one about dolphins to make us stop looking into it, so we don't find the one about them doing that to whales.
It's just orcas. Like
You can put 2 bombs on a whale.
you could put a nuke on a blue whale. You can do it. Go ahead and say you can't. You're lying.
Adine's back.
She is back, and she
She's
has
attacking underwater now. Also, like, again, Gurren, very helpless because it's like, I'm gonna fall, I'm gonna sink. Oh no!
Oh yeah, they start the big submarine they have, which
The
kind of looks
flag.
like a cross between
Oh,
like a
boy.
scorpion and a sea creature of some sort.
Daigunkai.
I like the name.
Yeah.
I like that Dai, which is Japanese for just big. That's what they just put it as. They're literally just like big gunkai or big gunman or something like that. So it starts like clamping it, and they're like, "What if we just pulled it underwater? Would that do it?" And it's like, "Yes, that would actually disable the entire system if you did it." But Simone says no, and he beats Adine underwater.
He uses his drill. He uses his drill to somehow like swim through the water and pull everything
I'm
up.
gonna
So
go up.
I like
mean,
that.
if you're gonna drill to the heavens. If it's through water, through rock, whatever, you drill to the sky.
I did like him drilling through water. I thought that like it made sense, and it was one of those. Yeah, that's. I need someone to do the math on that, but I think that would actually work. I think that would be okay. Oh, they had some little they had little bits and pieces of dick humor in there, where when the equivalent of what would be, because you guys have already made the joke that Gurren, it's where it's shaped for this ship, it looks like it's a giant dick, right?
Just fucking rock hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the submarine hits the ship in what would be the equivalent of its left testicles, and all the men on the ship, when it gets hit there, they all
Area 3's
grab
damage.
this-
Oh.
Yeah, they all freak out. I was like, that's a nice sight gag. They didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it. Again, back to the there's a homosexual joke in there. When Gurren Lagann slams into the ship, it slams into what would be the equivalent of its anus, and the one gay character says, "Ooh," and I was like, and they
Well, you see, like the tiny bit of the dough goes, "Beep," and it's like,
yeah.
God, I thought that was kind of funny. I was like,
That is
all right,
funny.
okay, fine. All right.
Again, that one's harmless. That one's fine.
It's like it's like this is just funny enough.
Yep.
Right on the
for me
line.
to be okay with it.
It's right there. Adine, after losing the battle,
She
she hops onto the ship and she grabs Nia. Because fuck it, why not? I don't know. She hates Nia for some reason. And, Yoko does something. She aims her 50 caliber sniper rifle at Nia.
And shoots Nia in the face.
Brat. And I love how everybody's like, no, don't let your judgment cloud, like, don't fucking ice her because she's better than you. Like, literally everybody has turned on
I love how
Yoko
everyone
already.
jumps that, and Yoko's just like, "What are you talking?"
Like she's never aimed that weapon in her life.
Yeah, but she does the cool like shoots her through her hair thing, which then breaks Adine's arm.
It breaks the shoulder actuator,
The
which is
shoulder, yeah.
fun. Yeah, that I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Great.
And then they fuck it up.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I love that they aim all the deck guns and
Oh,
cannons on
yeah.
the ship at
And she's
Adina,
like,
and she's like,
"You guys aren't
humans
that,
wouldn't-
you guys aren't that
humans wouldn't be
stupid."
enough to aim at me, would you?
And Yoko's like, "Actually, we are." Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, they are aiming the gun at the conning tower, and they all just fire.
See, if you time it perfectly and all the guns, all the rounds hit each other, then there's no risk of one of them shooting off and nuking everybody else inside. So it's fine.
Okay. And they kill Adina. She's dead.
Yeah, she's gone. Game over.
DEAD
Yeah, she gets the
dead.
black and white screen. And if that happens, you're dead as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's no coming back from that.
Like the whoosh.
Even Goku got a black and white screen a couple times. Goku has died a lot. I'm sorry to bring this up, but I'm thinking
Yeah,
of
it's kind of the
characters that died.
exception, you know.
There are characters that die, and then there's Goku, who dies all the time. Okay, sorry. But Viral was still alive. That he made it out of the
Yeah,
submarine.
he's mad. You know, goes on beach and punches sand, which is classic. Classic defeated anime villain vibe.
No.
But that was kind of it for episode 12. I still liked it. It half of it was a beach episode. I don't know what to say about that. I already thought we got our what do you call that? Fan service episode. I forgot about this one. Oh well. But okay, I'm sorry. We didn't cover why they actually were on the beach and going across the water. They're apparently just an ocean away from the city of Teppel, which is where the Spiral King is. I didn't know they all had to cross an ocean to go where Daiguren is, but that's kind of insane and fun.
I'm ready to get the Spiral King. Like, what's the deal here? What's the goal?
The goal of what the Spiral King is doing.
Like, what's the? Because I make big mechs that hunt people,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to exterminate the human race, I guess. But I want to what end?
I am so glad you asked. Did you know, Mike, we are actually at the halfway point of the series?
Yes, I did.
So your question, which is a really good one, is going to be answered really, really soon, honestly.
Cool.
Probably within our next 3 batches of episodes.
Nice, because like, I've enjoyed this show so far. I would have to say right now I don't quite know. Maybe I don't quite see like why you guys have such a specific reverence for it. Like I think it's pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited to get to the back half of this because I feel like we've been ramping up a little bit, and I'm kind of excited to see where we go from here. So, Josh, just to give you kind of a recap, like how I'm feeling, like I like it so far. I don't think I quite see why this is stuck with you guys so much after all these years, but I have a feeling that we're going to find out soon, based on like where we are in the plot and stuff.
Kind of stuff. What it feels like to you that they are setting up for here.
Yeah.
When I can, I'm sure you already get this, and you've heard tales of whatnot. We kind of talked about this at the beginning, but whatever you expect, it's wrong.
The show goes places.
But it's also
Okay.
right, but also wrong.
It goes places. And by the time we start, you're going to look back to the words of episode 12 and say, like, where was the show going? You get to episode, like, we'll say 20, and you're like, I can't believe what happened in episode 12 mattered to anybody.
You're gonna sit back for a second and go like, how did we get here?
Because
From
Evangelion,
there.
there's a through line. You're like, you kind of get there. Gurren
Mhm.
Lagann, yeah. All right. that's it. That's episode 12. The next ones we're going to do are 13, 14, and 15. Much like I said last time, excited to see that one because it's been so long for me. I've forgotten most of them, and I want to hear what Mike thinks of as the show starts answering some questions you might have.
Yeah, I'm kind of where you are, right? Like I remember the broad strokes, but like the minute to minute details are a lot more fuzzy, and as I watch some of the episodes, I'm like, oh, this is the one where that happened. That kind of stuff comes back to you. But yeah, I'm still quite enjoying rewatching it. Definitely, the just being 20 years removed or whatever, there a lot has changed in that time, and there are some things that are more problematic that they were, and you're like, in 2022, some of the things and I know we've said this before, like some of the things that were supposed to be subvertive back then definitely don't work as much now, but still the overarching story I am still quite enjoying.
Mm-hmm.
Excited to see Mike's thoughts about things where they go, and this and some other stuff have gotten me onto some like general anime thoughts, and I'll kind of we can discuss these later in the series and whatnot, but there are definitely some episodes that we've had already because of things that happen in the anime production world and how things work, where I'm just like, does it really are we just doing this because it's tradition and not because it's actually the best thing to do? And obviously I'm an American who enjoys this medium, and it's not as rooted in my culture as it is in Japan proper, but I'm like, maybe we don't need to hand draw. Maybe anime doesn't have to be hand drawn, because
You open up that can of worms.
Oh, buddy.
We can't do this on this
I know.
We do not have the time.
I know. And again, I'm coming at it with different opinions and a different cultural, but I'm like, man, I think some of the issues that we have could be solved.
Josh just kind of walked in here and said, "Here were the nuclear codes."
But the great part is there are places where you can go to make sure that when we have that discussion, you're notified of it right away.
I'll do it.
Where
would that be?
Unscriptedgaming.com. You can find links to all of our audio and visual podcasts, links to our social media. We're on Facebook at Unscripted Game Podcast. We're on Twitter at unscript_gaming. You can get us on SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify, Google, Apple, SoundCloud, YouTube, everywhere. Thank you for listening to Unscripted Gaming. My name is Josh.
My name is Mike.
Oh, my name is Ray.
Peace.
Believe in the podcast that believes in you.